Wow, where's my PC quick? Nope, it changed. Hello! Back again with another live reacts. Gonna be doing it today for Deathloop, a game which I have been on the fence about, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about Deathloop as a game at this point in time. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to do my introduction. I'm going to give us like 10 minutes because this is obviously a little bit out of the blue, not part of the normal streaming schedule, shall I say, you know. How do you spell? Discussing Deathloop and watching the previews. Live now, come join me? Question mark? Why did I put a question mark on it? I did, but oh, it's a Keenan and Kel podcast. Just like something, I was like, why have Keenan and Kel liked this tweet? It's a Keenan and Kel podcast. So there we go. But yeah, I'm gonna let people get in. We're going to be looking at some Deathloop. Big news out of nowhere as well that we can just discuss right now is, you know, the PS5 patch for The Last of Us Part 2 is out. So that's cool. That came out of nowhere. That was completely unexpected for this Wednesday. I don't think anybody saw that coming, even Naughty Dog themselves. But yeah, it's out now. I believe, with today's patch. So if you want to go and play The Last of Us in even better quality than it, I mean, it looked pretty damn good as it was on the PS4 Pro, but I mean, to see it in all of its PS5 glory really is going to be awesome, to be honest with you. And it's quite interesting that they've just kept quiet about it and put it out of nowhere. If they're doing that, what else are they potentially up to, you know? Base of Spades in the chat. The Base of Spades! We got Thomas in the chat saying, hola mis amigos. Hey, buenos tarde? Is it buenos tarde? Noches is evening. Tarde is afternoon, I think. Caesar in the chat, how you doing? Yeah, we're just going to be watching some Deathloop stuff, having a little discussion about it. Yeah, 60 FPS goodness on the Last of Us 2. So that's looking tasty. I mean, we can watch that before we get into or we'll do the Deathloop stuff and then we'll watch the Last of Us 2 stuff. I really don't mind. Just kicking back, having a good time, a little bit of a reaction stream, you know. But yeah, previews for Deathloop are out. It's interesting. Again, another one of those hands-off previews has come out. And this time it's around Deathloop. I find it very interesting that they're just sending, like, they're inviting people to these, like, seminars. Probably like a Zoom call, essentially, you know. And they're just, like, sort of showing off some stuff. I'm really interested. I'm going to maybe send some emails out and see if I can get accepted to one of those, because that would be awesome. And one of the videos I've got lined up here, they don't even have as much subs as I do, and they got invited. So I'm like, well, if they're getting invited, can I get invited? I want to be invited. So yeah, we're going to be looking at some Deathloop stuff. Should I wait 10 minutes for people to get in? While we do that, should I load the Last of Us thing quickly while we wait and just let people sort of get in? Because as I said, this is a very random, out of nowhere stream. So and it's 1 minute. So I mean, yeah, we can watch this. We can watch this quickly, just while we wait. Which is the correct button? There we go. Hey Tommy, how you doing? So yeah, we've got this come out today, brand new, hot off the presses or whatever they say. I don't know what they say.
If you lie to me one more time, you will never see me again.
Over 300 Game of the Year awards. No! Don't show us again. Enhanced resolution. 60 FPS. Free update. I kind of want to play it again, to be honest. It's so good. It's just so emotional. It's very hard to...
I would do it all over again.
Out now. Out now. Mr. T, how's it going? Natty Dread, how's it going? Yeah, we're just letting people come in while we wait a little bit. Just let people in, getting that notification and stuff. But just discussing, we got the 60 FPS. Whew. 60 FPS on the last, as if it needed to be any better. Really, really looking forward to that. But yeah, we got some, where's the multiplayer? Well, this is what I mean when I say, if they just drop that out of nowhere, what else are they going to drop on us out of nowhere? Mr. T, how's it going? Natty Dread, how you doing, man? Yeah, but today we're discussing Deathloop, which is, I'll run the Deathloop trailer right now. While we wait as well, before we look at these previews and stuff. Here we go. Official gameplay trailer. That sounds good to me. But yeah, let me know when you're in here.
What?
You'll never ever break this loop.
It's a game that I'm a bit on the fence about.
Me and the rest of these maniacs.
Like, I don't know why I'm on the fence about it. It looks pretty good. But just sort of the loop thing.
This is Ramblin' Frank's matinee.
Sort of put me off. Not put me off, but it made me feel a little bit like, oh, am I going to be playing the same game over and over? But then I guess playing Returnal is essentially that, and I enjoyed Returnal, and am enjoying Returnal. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see what they've shown off in these previews, which we're going to get into in like 3 minutes time. Ross, how's it going, man? Good to have you in the chat. But yeah, so there's been another hands-off preview, which is, I find it very interesting. They're doing these hands-off previews so much now. They're not sending the game out to people. She camouflaged into an army, dude. That was pretty cool. But yeah, they're not giving people actual hands-on previews, which is really interesting to me, Well, Returnal was the same idea. Yeah, it is, but it's also not, because like, this is like you have targets and actual missions to accomplish, whereas Returnal's like, you've got to beat the whole level, Whereas this is like, you don't have to, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a bit more focused. It's a bit more, you're an assassin kind of thing. You've got a target, you've got a job, you've got to get done. And you can do it all over again if it goes wrong. Which essentially is what every game is when you think about it. Jesus. That neck snack was awesome. Am I getting Ratchet day one? Already pre-ordered, man. It's already in the tank. Ratchet and Clank is in the tank. I will be playing that the second it comes out. We got Biomutant coming up as well. Probably going to get some sort of copyright strike or warning because of this intro. But, oh no, it could be an original song, so we could be fine. Didn't realise it was like, they tried to give it a James Bond-esque, its own song.
Boy, do I got a bone to pick with you.
I mean, it looks pretty good, but I need to know more about the game. Is that Resident Evil homage?
The kill is always new.
Song's over, people. And so is Ramblin' Frank. The rest of you motherfuckers are next.
Right, so yeah. So that is the game we're looking at today. And as I've said, previews and stuff have come out. I think we're going to start with, we'll see what GameSpot have to say. GameSpot are usually good. Then we'll go into some IGN. And then we'll wrap it up with a little bit of the old Easy Allies. Because, you guys showed me them last week or whenever it was. And I really like what they have to say. So I'm looking forward to watching them last. But yes, so this was part of a hands-off event where they showed people X amount of footage and they spoke about the game. Like a virtual seminar, if you will. And we're going to get into the first video right now, which is from GameSpot themselves. Let's see what they have to say about this.
Explaining Deathloop simply as two assassins stuck in a time loop manages to both answer and ask a lot of questions at the same time. Have no fear, because I got to see Deathloop in action recently and I've got the answers. Here's everything you need to know about Arcane's latest. For more, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Okay, one of the two assassins is Colt and the other is Juliana. Colt is trapped on a mysterious island and tasked with killing 8 targets to break the time loop that he's trapped in. You can play as Juliana online, invading other people's games so that you can keep the loop going.
That's very interesting and could potentially be annoying, but you can just mess with other people's games trying to block them. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
To fear your chances against a real opponent, you can opt for Juliana to be AI controlled.
Okay,
Colt
fair
and
enough.
Juliana are the cat and mouse chase at the core of the game, but there's a lot more history to their relationship than Colt can remember, and that unfurls throughout. It's reminiscent of Hades, a roguelike that would tell its story upon repeated loops. The conversations between the two never repeat either, because both Colt and Juliana are aware of the time loop, unlike the other inhabitants of the island of Blackreef.
Right.
When you're playing as Colt, sometimes Juliana will radio you to comment on a kill that you've just made, or if you've maybe run away from a fight, she'll radio you just to call you a coward. This time loop...
Wow. Okay. This is pretty cool. It
takes place across one in-game day, but if you're worrying that you'll be rushing against a timer to get everything done, have no fear. You can tackle everything at your own pace. Death also doesn't even mean the end of a loop. One of the powers we saw in action gave you 3 redos per loop. So if you died, you could return to the encounter, find and collect things from your body, and try again. If you die a 3rd time though, that loop is finished. You also
See? That's all we want, Returnal. That's all we're asking for. That's, you know, a couple more tries.
You won't be starting completely from scratch each time you start a new loop. There's a resource in the game called Residium that helps you hang on to your powers and weapons across loops. So not only will you restart with an arsenal, you'll also have more of Deathloop's most important resource:
knowledge.
The game takes place on a mysterious island called Blackreef and is inhabited by your 8 targets and a band of cult-like followers called Eternalists. The island is split into 4 districts, and each district can be visited at 1 of 4 times during the day, and they change significantly throughout the course of the day. You might be able to unlock a shortcut only at night, or maybe a visionary will pass through but only at a certain time. According to game director Dinga Bakaba, the game starts by introducing you to each district, then moving you to another until you've visited all 4. Then you can choose which to go to and at what time of day. Once you decide to leave...
That's all very interesting, because this was my sort of worry, that it's going to feel a bit like, you know, there's only 4 areas, you're going to be playing, this is going to feel very samey because it's on a loop and stuff, but it seems that they've really invested time into making everything be unique. Even if it is a day, there's a whole 24 hours within that day, which I think is the smartest move you could do with a game like this.
Time moves on when you get to the next one. If you go to a specific district at a certain try again. In a way, Deathloop lets you make lots of mini loops. Decide to leave, time moves on.
Did we just lose audio?
In each district.
Hello? What just happened? Is this one?
The concept of a...
Did I just...
District can be visited at... You can choose which to go.
I'm an idiot. I apologize. Basically, my... my headphone thing rolled on my arm. and I thought we lost audio. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
The next one. If you go to a specific district at a specific time to do a puzzle or maybe follow a certain subquest and fail it, you can just leap right back into that area and time period to try again. In a way, Deathloop lets you make lots of mini loops. You don't just have to keep doing the big one, if that makes sense. By visiting these locations over and over, you not only get the lay of the land and obtain key items like keys and door codes, but you can build a plan to take out your targets as efficiently as possible. Like all of Arcane's games, the setting and the world tell a lot of the story. The island of Blackreef is an alternate reality loosely based on a 1960s aesthetic. Art director Sébastien Mitton said that they settled on that era because of the carefree nature people had at the time. Despite the anxieties of the Cold War, people wanted to party forever, and so that filtered throughout the game, informing the look of the gadgets and weapons as well.
We shooting it up in Austin Powers aesthetic. I'm on board with that, yeah, baby.
As the music. The visionaries who live on the island are a group of artists and scientists who just want to live forever. One mission we saw was reminiscent of Dishonored's excellent Lady Boyle's Last Party. In it, you're tasked with killing Lady Boyle at her own masked ball, but the problem is everyone is wearing masks, and her sisters are there too. In Deathloop, one of the visionaries is called Alexis, who you've seen in trailers as the one wearing a wolf mask. Similarly, you need to uncover his identity before you can attempt to take him out. Not every visionary encounter is going to be like that, but they will move around and there are multiple ways you can take them out. And boy, are there ways to take them out. There are obviously
combat
many
looks
types
awesome.
of guns to use because you're an assassin. Interestingly though, there's no money in Deathloop. Ammo machines distribute bullets freely because if you're at a never-ending party utopia, why would you need money? If, like me, you loved the powers from Dishonored, then you'll have plenty to play with here. Some may look familiar. Shift is similar to Blink or Far Reach, Carnesis is similar to Wind Blast, and Nexus works in a very similar way to Domino from Dishonored 2. I mentioned Reprise
Just
earlier,
recycle
which gives
them.
you
Just
extra
do it.
redos, but there's also
They're like, shall we come up with new powers, or shall we just run the same coding in this one? Let's just run the same coding in this one. No one's gonna mind.
Ether, which makes you invisible. Now seriously, Arcane, where was that one in Dishonored? These powers use mana, but you can use trinkets to increase your maximum amount. Trinkets are slottable items that can also give you little perks like dealing more damage or a cool double jump. If you play Dishonored and you're familiar with bone charms, it's something similar. When you kill an enemy, whether by power, gun, or simply kicking them off a ledge, their body doesn't lie around just waiting to give you away, it kind of disintegrates. So while I'm not sure just yet if there's going to be an incentive to do a clean hands or ghost run like in Dishonored, I wouldn't be surprised. When it comes to multiplayer, it's woven into the campaign. Arcane's approach to designing it is that they want to incentivize creative play, and hopefully the mode will be seen as something of an anecdote generator, according to Dinga. As Juliana, you can invade random games or your friends, and the game gives you a list of feats to accomplish. Doing so gives you points, which you can then use to unlock new powers, trinkets, or weapons. These unlock randomly, so you'll get different loadouts every time you play. By playing the multiplayer component, you can unlock new appearances for Colt and Juliana. So the incentivization there is obviously the costumes you'll unlock and the high scores, but Arcane...
Why do you care about a costume in a first-person game? You can't even bloody see it.
Genuinely seem very excited to just see the clips and hear the stories of how players are going to be interacting online. One final thing to note about Deathloop is that it is genuinely very, very funny. So typically in Arcane games, the humor would come from all of these gameplay systems interacting, whereas in Deathloop, they have made a real effort to have the voiced characters be really genuinely quite funny. I'm really looking forward to it.
I don't like watching you die. I like killing you. There's a difference.
Okay.
So to sum up, Deathloop is some parts a natural evolution of past Arcane games and something else altogether. It's a PS5 exclusive for a while and we'll have more on it throughout the year. So make sure to like this video and subscribe. Check out tomorrow's preview on GameSpot.com for more from Dinga and Sebastian, and we'll catch you in the next loop. Bye.
All right. Well, you know what? She did a good job of summing it up there. Makes it seem very, very enjoyable in its own way. I'm gonna leave a little thumbs up. Other people can see you online. That's true. But if I only really care about my costume if I can see my costume, you know, like that's what it's there for. I want to see it. I don't care if other people can see it. I know like that kind of defeats the idea of like costume. Like we wear clothes all the time so other people can see what we look like. But you like to look at yourself in the mirror every so often and go, yeah, I look all right today, you know. So that's how I feel about costumes. Very, very good from GameSpot there, as I'm saying. Really did cover a lot of what's going on. A little bit not mad at the fact that they've just recycled a bunch of mechanics from a previous game, because, you know, I'm sure for, like, fans of the developer, that's great. But I'd like to see innovation when it comes to new games, you know? And renaming old mechanics isn't really, like, innovation, is it? But that's the only thing I can really hold against it. I like the fact that while this is, and she didn't actually say it's a roguelite, she just mentioned, like, how Hades, because it's in a loop, the narrative can go over and over, and you learn more about it through different loops. She mentioned that, but as we've seen from what they're saying, is there's a fair bit more leeway with this overall, because you can sort of like have a couple tries within a loop. You can do loads of mini loop stuff. There's ways to sort of hold on to your progression as well. So all of that sounds really, really good to me. We're going to move on over to my favorites, IGN, and see what they have to say about it, which their title isn't roguelike, it's supernatural Hitman, which kind of sums up what we've been seeing. It looks like a supernatural Assassin's game, so that's cool. Craig Stewart, how you doing, man? Gonna try Dishonored on Game Pass. Never played it before. Yeah, fair enough. Let's see what they're saying over at IGN on this.
The concept of a time loop has become synonymous with one thing in video games, the roguelike genre. It's an easy association to make. Should you die in those games, you're sent right back to the beginning and must start afresh. You use the lessons taught by death to avoid danger next time, exactly like Tom Cruise does in The Edge of Tomorrow. But Arcane is a developer that...
Let's just say, awesome movie, by the way, Edge of Tomorrow. You know, there's a script for the second movie, but I don't know if it's ever going to come out, but awesome. What an incredible movie.
It never takes the obvious path, and so its time loop game, Deathloop, is not a roguelike. Instead, it's Supernatural Hitman.
Hey Chris, how you doing today, man?
A recent preview event in which IGN was shown a hands-off gameplay presentation allowed me to get a better understanding of how Deathloop works. You have one single day to assassinate 8 targets, known as the Visionaries, that live on the 1960s-inspired Isle of Blackreef. Killing them all within that single day will break the loop and free your protagonist, Colt.
I like how smooth the combat looks in this. It looks like a very smooth shooter, which that, to me, always is a big difference maker.
From eternal torture. It's easy to expect Blackreef to be an open world with a flowing day-night cycle, akin to Outer Wilds' freely explorable solar system and its 20-minute loops. Instead, the island is split up into 4 districts, selected from a main menu, much like how you'd pick a Hitman level. You even choose your equipment before heading into the location, just as you would for Agent 47. There's an added wrinkle though. You also select what time period to explore the district in, either morning, noon, afternoon, or evening. Rather than putting you on the clock, time is a condition that you choose, akin to deciding day or night when setting up a race in a driving game. These time periods change what you can expect within the district. Mornings in the Updam district, an area dominated by a towering mansion, feature construction workers putting together a stage. Visit Updam in the evening though, and there's a party in full swing. These changes and the varying opportunities they provide mean that there are 16 map variations to explore.
See, 16 map variations is pretty damn good, all things considered. And I imagine, even though they're not saying anything about this at this point in time, I imagine because they've got this online element that they've built into it where you can go and assassinate people in their game, it would be very easy to add a new area or DLC to a model like this, you know? Or just, especially with what they've explained about how you set up all of your mission parameters before you sort of go into that loop. So, yeah, very, very interesting and probably room for expansion.
Exploration seems to be the most pressing part of Deathloop. Much like in Hitman, investigating every square inch of a location will reveal new opportunities to take advantage of. But unlike Hitman, locations are not self-contained stories. The opportunities you may find may not be useful until a later time, or simply inform what you must do in an entirely different location. These discoveries help piece together what Arcane refers to as the murder puzzle. To solve the puzzle, you'll first need to identify...
You know how I feel about puzzles. Don't call it a murder puzzle. You're putting me off the game now.
Which of Blackreef's many masked inhabitants are the Visionaries you must eliminate. Then you must work out how to kill all of your targets in one day. At the start of the game, they're just too spread out across the 16 map variations to be able to kill all 8 before you run out of time. You can't be in 2 places at once after all. As such, you're going to have to explore every district at every time of day on multiple doomed to fail loops, all to gain an understanding of how you can shepherd your targets together and butcher them simultaneously. Arcane's
So you got to do your reconnaissance before you can even get the kills off.
Example is that you may discover in the morning in one district that you can set things in motion to ensure a visionary will attend that party in Updam in the evening, where another of your targets will already be in attendance. As they say, 2 birds, 1 stone. Apply this mission to all 8 visionaries and you can eliminate every last one of them within a single loop. Enough about structure though, how does Deathloop actually play? Well, from what I can see, Dishonored...
You can't really answer that question, so why did you throw it in there? Because it's not a hands-on preview, mate. So you've just set yourself up for failure with this one.
With guns is a pretty close approximation. Because time is a manual setting rather than a ticking clock, you have as long as you need to explore a level, and those levels look to contain immersive sim DNA extracted from the purest Deus Ex strain. The presentation showed Colt looking through computer emails to learn more about a visionary, eavesdropping on NPCs to learn about new routes into the target's mansion, and breaking into a safe to obtain a piece of information that definitively identifies which person at the Updam party must be killed. Information looks to be vital. Not only does it help set your next objective, but it survives the time loop reset. For example, in the evening you may discover that a vital item is in a building that only opens during the daytime. That area may be currently locked, but now you know that to progress you must head there during the afternoon on a subsequent loop. This means the end of the time loop doesn't reset your progress, just your position in space and time. Deathloop has an emphasis on stylish, gun-heavy combat. A hands-off demo means it's impossible to judge right now if combat feels great, but the weapons certainly look to have weight. From auto pistols loaded with double magazines to a belt-fed machine gun that's cranked with a giant handle, Arcane have put together some cool, retro-looking blasters. For Dishonored purists, there is a silenced nail gun, but I'm eager to play an immersive sim that truly supports frantic firefights over pacifist runs. This doesn't mean that Arcane has ditched its signature smarts though. Since Death will reset the time loop, you're going to have to play carefully. At least to begin with. Arcane promises Deathloop's trajectory will turn players into a superpowered John Wick, capable of dominating the loop. That means supernatural powers...
I've not seen much armed enemies in this so far. That guy just there that got killed had a gun, but overall not seen much armed enemies at all.
Return from Dishonored, including the short-range teleport Blink, known here as Shift. As well as using your gun's powers and the environment to solve the time loop puzzle, you'll also have to be aware of Juliana, Colt's nemesis who can be controlled by another player. This PvP system appears to be much like Dark Souls Invasions, but Arcane are holding back on saying too much about Juliana right now. It does seem safe to say that she could provide Deathloop's tensest encounters though. The idea of a Hitman game where you jump into a level not to kill the target, but to discover how you can force them to move to a different location so that you can take them out at the same time as somebody else is undeniably attractive. But mixing that with Dishonored supernatural assassin gameplay and top-tier level design quickly makes Deathloop one of the most exciting propositions of the year. Folding all that into a time loop system though, even one that doesn't exert actual time pressure, also makes it potentially one of 2021's most complex games. Complexity can lead to ruin as easily as it can to greatness, and so it remains to be seen if Deathloop can stand tall beneath the weight of its wild ambition. But if I were to trust any developer with such a task, it would be Arcane.
Fair enough.
For more, check out the full written preview on IGN.com.
Thank you, man. Shaping up, he raised some different points, which I sort of find interesting. But yeah, no, from what I can see so far, kind of getting me on board. But then I don't know if, like, my only problem with this is I can see myself getting bored. Like, I have an attention span. I don't know what the limits of that attention span is, but it's not so much with the game. It's gonna be more about when it actually comes out, I think. Hunter, how you doing, man? It just depends. Like, say you drop Deathloop, right? And then, like, the new Horizon Zero Dawn game comes out, yeah? Well, then I'm probably going to drop Deathloop really quickly, you know? Like, it's as simple as that, which is maybe a bit too brutally honest, but, you know, say I get to a point I killed maybe like 4, I got the loop worked out, I can kill like 4 of the 8 targets. But then I can go and explore the entirety of a new Horizon game or something like that. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with that option. So we'll see. If anyone can really rally me on board to want to play this game even more, because I agree, the shooting element looks great. I like the Hitman style plan your assassinations and gather info and all of that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I haven't picked up Hitman 3 since I bought it. You know, it's the problem with these sort of like figure out the scenario. There's no replayability once you got it worked out, which can be tough on the game itself. But then there's people that really do, like, I'm not going to say get off, but that's the best terminology I can say right now, on like sort of improving their runs and getting those sort of speed runs down and stuff and really getting good at the game. And what's the quickest I can do this in time? What I'm not really like that. So it's a kind of one and done situation for me once, but you know, it sounds like it's going to take a fair bit of time to get that one and done. So we'll see. But yeah, if anyone can rally me and make me feel excited, it's the Easy Allies boys. Let's see what they've got in store and what they got to say about us for us in this.
What?
You'll never, ever break this loop.
There's no never here. Just you, me, and the rest of these maniacs.
Bring it, baby.
You see how nicely they present...
So, Brad, you love Arcane Studios.
Sorry, do you see how nicely they just present their videos? Like, they really put a level of care into what they're doing, and I respect it, man.
You're a Dishonored super fan, I would say.
Super fan? I like Dishonored games. I don't know about super fan.
Love Dishonored.
Yeah.
Love it. And thankfully, from their own mouths, Arcane Studios has called Deathloop, quote, Dishonored with guns.
Which is a funny thing, because Dishonored had guns, but...
This is a cross now between immersive sims and roguelite elements. There's quite a bit of roguelite elements in this. You know, it's all about a time loop. So the game begins on Blackreef Island. And there's a time loop trapping the island. So full-on Groundhog's Day, trapped in a time loop. And it seems like really the only one who knows what's going on is not us, but Juliana, the female assassin we've seen.
Hey, Royalty, how you doing,
man? A lot of
man?
questions at the end of this preview because it's still about 4 months away, and they said they were going to peel back the curtain on Juliana at a later date, so I don't know too much about her. But it seems like she, Brad, knows exactly what's going on and is out to stop you. Who knows what is going to happen? Who even knows who or what to believe? Because when Colt wakes up, he's super hungover, and he's like seeing visions. He's seeing, like, you know, don't trust her, don't trust anyone,
like
go this way.
Max Payne text or some shit.
Yeah, just things popping up on the wall, Brad. It's really eerie and freaky. And he trusts him right away. I mean, he opens fire on a guard in the back, like full-on murder. That's the kind of game we're dealing with. lot of running and gunning. But I mentioned the roguelites elements, and that's because each day is a loop. But they referenced Majora's Mask a while back, Brad. They said, Majora's Mask gave some people anxiety. You know, you got that time limit. It's intense. You know, not everybody has a Brad or a Damiani sitting next to him to remind him about the time spell or whatever it is.
Yeah.
These guys, man, I really enjoyed their presentation.
Per loop, per day. It's just like when you die, or maybe when certain parameters happen, but like you have all the time you need to explore and walk around freely. And then just when you die, they said you lose everything and you start a day over. Now, what you can retain is this currency called Residium. They didn't go into the nitty-gritty of this stuff, but it seems like a roguelite currency where you can then pump up your trinkets, your weapons, your powers. Weapons can get like trinkets to mess with their properties. There's quite a lot of customization that we didn't get into about that, but they really promise like a lot of flexibility and customization with weapons and powers. But they wanted to stress, because somebody asked, how do you make sure that people don't feel like they're wasting time after an hour and they die and they have nothing to show for it?
Yes. That person that asked that question had been playing Returnal. Guarantee it. Same as me. Just dying all the time. Just fed up of the world. feeling like a useless gamer, can't get past the third boss or whatever, and they were like, but this sounds a lot like we need some insurance. Like, how do you know that I'm not wasting my time? Thank you for asking that question, whoever you are, you hero, you loser hero.
And they stressed that loops equal knowledge, knowledge equals power. So each loop, classic roguelite, you're learning attack patterns and stuff, but the immersive sim element, you can eavesdrop on conversations, you can follow people and manipulate things in a way to maybe learn a door code. They learned a door code early on, and then they just had that forever, and that was another route that they could take now.
That's cool, yeah.
So
I'm gonna be there, like that Charlie from It's Always Sunny meme where he's got all of the information on the wall. Like that's the level of research I'm gonna have to put in, because I won't remember that key code after like loop 3. I'm gonna have to actually write it down.
It's not like you're always just retaining core stats and weapons and stuff. There's a lot of map and enemy knowledge here to learn, and I thought
so it's like cool. Some of the progression is not only just tied to your character, but the level itself.
Yeah, Brad, and I thought that was just so cool and interesting. I just love the stealth element of their games. And something else that was liberating about that stealth element, Brad, is in Dishonored, I always just feel like a goody, not a goody two shoes, but like I really pick my targets, like we always talk about the golden cat. I'm gonna take those people out, ruthless murder style, but a lot of times I'm like, I don't want to kill anyone. I want to be, these people, I have no quarrel here. Deathloop seems like run and gun, have fun, take people out. They almost look like crash test dummies.
Maybe don't think of the game on a moral standpoint.
Yeah.
Just fucking go in there and shoot them up or something.
Yeah, maybe because
more about.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe because we have not a lot of knowledge about what is even happening. Maybe at the end they'll gut punch you and be like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have been doing that or something." Who knows? Just spitballing, just theorizing.
I love that though. Like, don't worry about that. He's here thinking of like their backstories and shit when he's playing the games. I respect that. What a nice guy. Like, he's legitimately like, oh no, but if I kill this person, what about the kids at home? What if he just became a henchman to support them? One of the children sick, and what if I take their father away? Like, don't worry about that, man. Just shoot. Just shoot.
But that learning the map stealthily and slowly and just sneaking around and eavesdropping and spying, Brad, that almost has me more excited than the running and gunning and powers.
Sure, yeah. So you're taking out targets. Why don't you kind of run me through, like, going through an area, you kill a target. What's that like? And if you go to a new area, do you go to a new area after you kill a certain amount of targets, or is it you're in one area the whole time?
Yeah, I think you can freely travel between the areas. Or you'll get to a point, they said, when you can freely travel. Okay. I think you have to unlock that ability. You have your little hub area, and I think that's where you can like mess with your residium and your loadout and stuff. There are 8 targets, 4 locations, but each of the locations has 4 times of day. So like morning, afternoon, evening, and nighttime or whatever. So there's like 16 variations on 4 locations.
Don't you think, right? Just throwing this out there, like, don't you think, like, none of these enemies in any of this preview footage looks like they're a problem at all? They're all just getting just absolutely gunned down. Like, they had, like, where's the challenge?
But the...
Or is the player just that good?
The eavesdropping element got me so excited, Brad, when they were talking about manipulating the targets into being at one location at the same time. So like 4 of them were at one place, took them out in one fell swoops.
Yeah.
So I bet, I can't wait to see speedruns of this and just like gathering 8 targets in one location, like boom,
see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I wonder like the methods of kind of leading these targets into one area or something like that. If it's more like you feeding someone bad information or obstructing a pathway or something. Yeah. I wonder how in-depth that'll get.
Probably
yeah,
uneasy,
maybe
so
like
they
using a
don't die.
radio, fake radio call or something.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Because one of
probably.
the targets was like the propaganda person. You know, they each kind of have their personalities. That was the one we saw the most, is this propaganda radio target.
He's nice, man.
You do...
Is this Brad or Dom? Leave him alone, man. Look how passionate he is about the games, man.
Go down pretty quickly.
Right.
So if you are running and gunning, especially early on, you know, they said by the end of the game, you're pretty much going to be John Wick, you know, the Doom Slayer. You're going to work your way up to that power level. Not only that power level, but you'll have all the knowledge of the game by then as well.
Right.
So they're really all about that slow progression. Some of the powers were, one of the trinkets was like come back to life. So there's like little trinkets and buffs you can find throughout the map, and using your residium. One of the buffs was like, yeah, you respawn where you died. So there's like stuff like that.
Michael Huber.
Is there,
there
like,
we
you
go.
know, you pick an item.
See? Yeah, exactly. Look at the passion.
Or something like that, but is there a cost to picking some things?
There was no like detriment. It was just like, yo, you found it. Good for you. Nice.
Okay.
Keep on keeping on.
And you also find like weapons laying around or anything
yeah,
like that?
like the first one is just right there, and it's just like a really bad like machine pistol. I don't know exactly how you get to a point when you can just like start with a big one.
Sure.
But yeah, there were like weapons lying around. And
what kind of powers did you find?
Powers, so it's very Dishonored. So Dishonored. Blink, of course, one of the all-time greats.
Multi-move, welcome to the chat, by the way.
Launching things up into the air was a big one. Like slant, like, you know, they all go up in the air and kind of levitate like that.
Float around, yeah.
Those were kind of the main ones we saw.
Okay.
They said you can use the environment to take people out. So I'm guessing, you know, some kind of traps or like you said, like maybe lock someone in a room and cut them off from the guards. Like the levels seemed expansive. And there were so many times, you know, because we just watched. We didn't get to play. We were just watching. But there were so many times when they were just,
doing
like,
this so
through,
much.
Like, what's that? Earl, I wonder what's down there. Or like,
So, Clapscope, the online feature for this, I'm sure there probably will be. Like, we can't break down too much other than what we've learnt today. But what we have learnt today is that one of the online features is the fact that you can play as the opposing assassin and sort of do like a, you know, Dark Souls-like invasion, which is a really cool feature. So you can just go out there and stop other people from accomplishing their mission, which is a really interesting element because you're playing as one assassin and then there's the female assassin, Juliana, and she's trying to stop you from breaking the loop because obviously she doesn't want you to get out of the loop. So that character can either be AI or it can be played by someone else that just comes into your game and takes her over kind of thing, depending on what you choose, which adds a really cool online feature. So I'm sure there will be sort of accolades that go into some other sort of online features, as you're saying here, about like trying to beat people's times and stuff. I'm sure they will have compensated for that as well, because they've got a online element to the game in general. So yeah, stat tracking, things like that would probably make a lot of sense, but I can't say any more than what we're learning today.
oh, what if they went up that way? So just a lot of moments like that seem fun to just like invest in and get lost in.
Right. Experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Juliana, I don't know if I talked about it. Juliana can be AI or another player. And this hypes me up. It's really hypes me up. This is a very, very cool way to do multiplayer, you know? The threat of her out there as another person, just MLG, like some silent assassin out there, you know? It's so threatening. It would make me so nervous and cautious. If that bothers you, if that freaks you out, AI all the way. You play how you want to play. And again, they said they would give a lot of information on her at a later date.
That makes me wonder, like, the incentive for being her, or like the reward for killing her, how that all works out.
Yeah. Absolutely loved their banter. I'm so invested already in this world, and these characters, specifically them, they're amazing. Yeah, it's a very fun, playful, but really serious, and also like really modern, but like with a 60s aesthetic.
It does look great. Clapscope, thank you so much. That 6 scary when people came into my game in Dark Souls. I hated it. I'm trash, by the way. Same here, man. Not in Dark Souls in general, just agreeing with D. I'm trash also. So for me, I think the fun would probably come in trying to invade other people's games as opposed to being invaded. I can see some people really putting together some absolutely trolling compilations for YouTube and otherwise. But again, you'd probably have to know the game quite well inside out anyway before you can be good at invading people, because you're going to need to know the map and where people are going to sort of go in those loops and those times a day. Because as you know, there's all of the different times a day and stuff. So it's actually, you're almost going to have to be better at the game to be good at invading. Like shooting and everything's one thing, but the understanding and anticipation, knowing where people are going to be on the map a lot of the time and how they're going to move and what they're going to need to unlock. Like, say you invade, I'm assuming if you invade, you probably have more access to the map than they do. And you know that there's a room that people have to go through, but it's locked. You could just wait in that room with a shotgun or something until that person unlocks it. And the second they unlock it, is just straight up shoot them in the face with that shotgun or something, you know?
Combining like immersive sims and roguelites just seems great. That's really all I can say about this game.
It seems like a really awesome combination based off their past works.
Yep.
And what they're really good at. I'm really curious to see how these roguelike elements will be implemented and mixed with their immersive sim kind of games.
Yeah. And just
it's
like
a long shooting
like you said,
thing.
how great Arcane is. So like a studio of this talent with such a specific and clear vision. Like this game has a vision and they are all in on it. And that's all you can ask for a game you're psyched about.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So
that's it. That's Deathloop. It's coming out September 14th on PlayStation 5 and PC. They are going to, I'm sure, not official, but E3 is right around the corner. I expect a lot more details in the coming months as we get closer to release. And that's going to do it. We are Easy Allies. If you like what you saw, help us out on Patreon, Twitch, Twitter, all that good stuff, YouTube.
Thanks, boys. Easy Allies are becoming like my favorite gaming channel very rapidly. Just the passion and the discussion. I think they do a great job. I think they really do a great job. Path Gaming saying, "Hi Bam, can't wait for Ratchet and Clank." Hey, of course not. But we're checking out some Deathloop because I was a bit more on the fence about this. I think it's a game that I'm definitely gonna play. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a day one for me, but at the same time, I can't see it being super fun down the line. I think a lot of the fun will be in the first few weeks of its release. September is a while away. As I've said, it will be interesting to see what games get released around the time it comes out, because that's definitely going to affect my focus on it. But we'll see. Hopefully September 14th is a clear month. But at the same time, as we start to get into that later quarter of the year almost, just in that sort of like home run area, Christmas coming up and stuff, we're probably going to see some of the best games, and especially some of the more delayed titles coming out around that time, potentially. So, it'll be interesting, to say the least. But overall, it looks really, really, really fun. It does. And it looks like a smooth shooter, which is always something you want to make sure it works well, But there's a lot of elements in this. I do like the fact that it is basically like first-person Hitman, but with superpowers and stuff. I think that IGN really nailed it with the way that they described it. Because essentially, like, Hitman isn't like a roguelite. Like, sure, you can save it and stuff, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, essentially, you kind of have to restart scenarios over and over again for the perfect run in those, in Hitman. But, I didn't, but you can. Sometimes I did. It was easier just to start from the start and take it from the top. But, yeah, Born Sinner saying, did you see they released a 60 FPS update of The Last of Us 2? I did. We watched the trailer for it at the start of this video, discussed a little bit about it at the start of the video. I'm not annoyed with the fact that they've done it so quietly and randomly, but it is a bit like I would have liked to have known it was coming out so I could have downloaded The Last of Us back onto my console, which I can do, but it would have been nice to know so I could have anticipated that and had it downloaded so I could play a bit of it this evening or something like that. You know, it might even be good. Look, let's face it, if I do a permadeath run for a stream, that's not going to last anyone, like, it's not going to last any longer than this like, it's not going to last longer than a day. I'm not going to complete the game if it's a permadeath run, and I'm probably not going to make it much further than an hour, especially if it's on grounded or something difficult. So yeah, maybe I'll do that to test out the PS5 capability of the patch, see how it looks, how it runs, all of that good stuff. But like, you know, I still think it's awesome, but as I said, it makes me question what else Naughty Dog are up to with The Last of Us patch just dropping out of nowhere, like PS5 patch dropping out of nowhere. What else might they drop out of nowhere this year? Fingers crossed, you know, for some multiplayer type stuff, potentially. 300 awards, Game of the Year awards on The Last of Us Part 2. Incredible. And you couldn't even just give us an announcement that you were going to drop the PS5 patch in time. The controller wouldn't last longer than a day. But yeah, maybe I'll do a permadeath run. It could be a lot. It could be a lot of fun. It could be a lot of fun. So yeah. Overall, looking forward to Deathloop. There's a few more games that I'm more looking forward to, like Kena is definitely up there. But it's cool that it's like a timed exclusive on PS5 and coming out on PC. Unfortunate, again, for the Xbox. Speaking of Xbox exclusivity type stuff and PS5 exclusivity type stuff, did anyone see that the Falconeer is coming out now? Like, you know? So, like, guys, why are we... Let's not argue in the comments either, but, yeah, I just think it's funny that yet again another sort of exclusives just come out. Is there a trailer for that? I think PlayStation dropped a trailer for it coming out. But yeah, looking good, looking good overall. Yeah, look, there it is. The Falconeer announcement trailer. I wonder how much people will actually play this because it's been on Xbox, and some people be like, I'm not touching that. Because I don't know why they just do it. But, thanks for watching, Ross. I need to sort some food soon as well.
From the clouds they dive. The screams of battle in their lungs.
I mean, it doesn't look great, does it?
They find each other in the dark embrace of the cold sea.
It's got dual sense features. There we go, yeah, as you said, adaptive triggers and haptic feedback. That's cool. That'll be interesting. Includes all DLC to date as well. Alright, nice. But, yeah, just a bit, like, you know, just a little bit. It doesn't really look like my sort of game, if we're being honest with you. I tell you what does look like my sort of game, and I'm getting back into playing it quite heavily at the moment while we're here. And tell me if you agree with it. So check this out. I'm sure most people aren't really big fans of Final Fantasy XIV. I love it personally. It's been really fun playing it again, especially having some friends start to play it as well. It's been enjoying playing the game again. I'm playing it on PC. But yeah, so they've revealed like a new job, which is, you know, like a class, and it's the Reaper, but something almost super familiar about the aesthetic. If you take a little look at this piece of footage, something very familiar about it. Also, I was watching the announcement event for this. Like, is it me, or is this very Bloodborne-esque? You know, it looks very, very looks very, very Bloodborne-esque. Like the whole aesthetic for it is just is complete and utter Bloodborne. Even like the big massive scythe style, but then you also get this thing, like this sort of this spirit, I guess, that fights with you, like a stand out of JoJo's, which is pretty cool. I'm sure most people are, like, I really enjoy Final Fantasy 14. Plus, you can play it on your console if you really want to. But yeah, look how Bloodborne that is, and they got the JoJo pose with the reveal, which is awesome in my opinion. You said there's a Mario Golf. Are we just watching some trailers just while we finish it up? Mario Golf trailer. Oh, there is. There we go. Yahoo!
The fairway is open once again. Tee off on the latest installment of the
The
Mario
thing is,
Golf
right,
series.
there's a
coming
lot of
to Nintendo
games.
Switch. Study the wind and terrain.
There's a lot of games that I wanna play on the Switch, but I can't.
Then swing.
I can't. I'm sorry, yeah. I can't go. Look, I know I'm playing Final Fantasy on my PC, but I can't go from like the PS5 graphics to like a Switch. I just can't. I can't do it, and I can't pay money to get a Switch to do so either. Is how I feel. You know, I don't know if that's me being
features on the greens,
mean,
like a shot gauge.
But do you know what I'm
your
saying?
Shot will curve due to slopes.
Like,
and a scan that lets you examine a course's terrain.
The graphics.
These features can help you ace your shots.
Like, I really want to. I really want to get a Switch because
you can also use motion controls by holding
there's a lot that I want to play on it, right? There's that whole Monster Hunter game that's coming out with the like cool anime style graphics that I want to play, and I just can't bring myself to do it. Connor in the chat, Julian in the chat, how's it going?
On top of all that, there are several modes with new elements that truly bring the heat to Mario Golf.
But it looks like a lot of fun.
Speed golf.
Speed golf?
Here, it's always your turn.
Yeah.
Off at the same time, then you'll race through the course to reach your ball.
That does look like a lot of fun.
Closer to the hole, then keep going. Outpace your opponents to come out on top. Your golfing skills aren't the only things at play. Make use of dashes and special shots to beat the competition. Oh, did we mention story mode? As a Mii character, you'll start out as a rookie and develop your golfing skills while interacting with various Mushroom Kingdom characters.
Okay,
Level
fair
up with
enough.
Experience points earned during matches. Then
all right.
allocate points to different stats, allowing you to develop your character however you'd like. You can also use your...
Look at Wario in his little golfing outfit, man. Look at him. Look how out of place that stupid me thing looks, man.
Me in versus play. Put your golfing skills to the test when Mario Golf Super Rush swings onto Nintendo Switch June 25th. Pre-orders begin on Nintendo eShop after this presentation.
Wow. I probably won't play that. Once you go PS5, you never go back. Exactly. I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Connor. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, it's just so, like, it's not even that I'm not into the Nintendo stuff. It's just that I'm not into, like, paying for a downgrade from the, like, I'm in the next gen now, you know? Like, I don't even play my PS4 anymore. If I have to, once in a blue moon, when I go on, like, my Xbox so I can play with friends, it just feels like an absolute, I'm like, why am I doing this to myself, you know? Why am I doing it? So, yeah, I just can't bring myself to do it, unfortunately. It's sad. But if they're bringing out a Switch Pro, is that going to be better? Is that going to be like 60 FPS, 4K? Are they going to do that? If they do that, I'm on board. And I'll happily get one. But yeah, I don't know. We're in the next gen now. You know? We're there. Welcome to the future, old man. Like, yeah, exactly. And then, yeah, you've got, like, a good point. You got Ratchet and Clank, which, like, Oh, it's just going to be incredible, isn't it? And I can't wait. So much good games. I really can't divert onto another console at this point in time, especially if it's not 10 out of 10 and going to bring the best out of my monitor and everything like that. It's not me being mean. I do really want to switch handheld because I'm like, that's different. That's very, very different. That's almost... like, I like the idea of being able to take it places and things like that. That's cool. I like gaming on the go, apart from the fact that we haven't been able to go anywhere because of the situation of being locked down for ages. Yes, it will be 4K. Well, then maybe I will. Maybe I will get a Switch Pro. Maybe I'll do it, and then I can catch up on all of these games that I've missed. But, yeah, for the time being, not getting a normal Switch. I want to thank everybody for being a part of these little reaction streams where we just look at new stuff. I think it's really fun. I'm going to try and do these once a week, as providing there's enough to talk about, like say a new game comes out and we look at the reviews and things like that. If you enjoy them, I enjoy them. The Ratchet & Clank one done really, really well, so I appreciate everyone that joined for that. Appreciate everyone that's joined for this one as well. I hope it's, whether you're like at work or, you know, wherever you may be. I don't know what people do outside of work at this point in time. I don't know, studying, I guess. Like, if you're doing any of those things, then I hope this has been a nice audio background noise for you and you're feeling chilled out. It's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. I'm glad I've kind of done this on a Wednesday as well, because I always feel lost on a Wednesday. There wasn't really too much out to make a good video out of either, like on reacts and stuff. And I thought, you know what? I wouldn't feel right just sitting here and just like reacting to a review without being able to talk to all of you guys in the process, you know, as it's like having a discussion with friends as we watch what's going on. But like just to upload like a reaction to a review doesn't feel like the right kind of thing. But you know, I'm glad that we've got this sort of format now that we can do once a week, and maybe because I've done this now, I won't do the end of the week roundup one that I was planning on doing. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone for popping in, saying hi, you know, all of that good stuff. As I said, I hope you're having a good week. Susan, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I think I'm gonna order KFC today. You know what? It's hump day. It's easy to feel down. I'm gonna get myself a little treat of a takeaway, which will make me continue to eat better throughout the rest of the week, hopefully, which I've been doing. I've been cooking good food, I've been eating it, I've been working out, I've been doing all this good stuff, trying to... Some motherfucker said, God, you put on the pounds in the comments. I deleted the comment. I deleted it. Just because you've got better quality camera now and you can see it even easier, it's no surprise. You've watched me stream and eat chocolate and drink fizzy drinks for over, what, a year now. It was always going to happen. So now I'm reclaiming my life and my physicality. But yeah, don't fucking throw it in my face in the comments, man. How rude. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Look out for each other. I hope you all have a great week. I will check in with you tomorrow when I'm streaming some Beyond Two Souls, which was really fun. I actually massively enjoyed that yesterday. It was a lot of fun. And I probably have some sort of upload going for you in the daytime anyway. I'm working on a new format that hopefully should be out this Saturday, so you got that to look forward to. And if you don't already, go and follow me on any of my other socials where we continue the conversation. I upload a lot of content that doesn't make it onto YouTube, short form stuff, a lot of rap type stuff and miniature things like that. And every little helps. Really appreciate it if you can do that, especially over on my Instagram at the moment, because I really want to... I'm like 100 away from 4K, so it'd be nice to push that up. I know numbers mean nothing, but I like round numbers. So, yeah, please do. /Pamalam on all socials apart from TikTok, which is 2 M's. Which is where near enough all of my rap content goes, and I've actually got something that will be going up a bit later on there as well.